Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News. Fans. Cindy adjusted her scarf as the brisk autumn wind danced through the streets of Chicago. Her life had always been a blend of careful planning and quiet routines, an accountant by day, bookworm by night. But something deep inside her yearned for a spark, something extraordinary. She had always followed reality shows from the comfort of her living room, laughing at contestants' over-the-top antics, yet secretly wishing she could experience a moment of unfiltered joy like that. So, when an email arrived from the producers of Bachelor Happy Hour, inviting her as a special guest for a live audience segment, Cindy felt a mixture of disbelief and excitement. "You must be joking," she whispered, staring at her screen. But there it was, in bold letters. "Congratulations, you've been selected to join us live for an unforgettable episode." That night, Cindy sat in the studio, her heart thumping against her ribcage. The lights were brighter than she imagined, the laughter louder, the aroma of freshly brewed cocktails tantalizing. And there he was, Mel. The charismatic and slightly mischievous bachelor whose smile had captured hearts nationwide. He waved to the audience, his eyes scanning the crowd with an inviting warmth that made Cindy's pulse quicken. She never expected that the universe had a different plan. During the commercial break, Cindy found herself near the bar where Mel was chatting with the host. Summoning every ounce of courage, she approached. "Hi, I'm Cindy," she said, her voice slightly trembling. Mel turned, his eyes lighting up. "Hey, Cindy, nice to meet you. Are you enjoying the show?" "I am," she replied, trying to hide her nerves. "It's surreal being here." "You're not the first to say that," Mel chuckled, "but I have a feeling you're going to remember tonight." There was something magnetic about him, not just his charm, but the genuine curiosity in his gaze. They spoke about books, favorite cities, and the strange thrill of spontaneous adventures. For Cindy, each word felt like a step away from the ordinary, a journey into something exciting, yet comforting. By the end of the break, Mel leaned in slightly. "You know, Cindy, most people are nervous meeting me, but you're different. I like that." Cindy felt her cheeks warm. She never imagined that a few casual words could make her feel seen in a way she hadn't in years. The segment ended, and the audience clapped, but Cindy couldn't shake the feeling that tonight was the beginning of something unusual. As she waited to exit, the producer tapped her shoulder. "Cindy, would you like to join Mel for the after-show cocktail round? It's just a small group, nothing broadcasted," she asked. Cindy's heart leapt. "Yes, absolutely." Sitting across from him at the dimly lit lounge, she noticed how relaxed he was when the cameras weren't rolling. Their laughter mingled effortlessly, and Cindy realized what she felt wasn't just a fleeting crush. It was the thrill of being genuinely understood. When Mel suggested they take a stroll outside, Cindy agreed without hesitation. The city lights shimmered on the wet pavement, and the cool breeze carried the scent of possibility. Mel reached for her hand, a tentative yet electrifying gesture. "You know, Cindy, I think you're someone special," he said softly. Cindy felt a spark of hope she hadn't felt in years. It was daring, it was unexpected, and it felt like home. Over the next few weeks, Cindy found herself drawn into a whirlwind of laughter, late-night phone calls, and coffee dates that stretched into starlit walks. They shared secrets, hopes, and little moments of vulnerability that deepened their connection. Cindy discovered that Mel's charm was matched by his depth, his ability to listen, and his surprising knack for understanding her world. One evening, Cindy invited him over to her cozy apartment, a space filled with plants, soft lights, and books stacked in organized chaos. "You've got a whole universe in here," Mel said, grinning as he stepped carefully between stacks of novels. "And you've got this, calming chaos, Cindy teased. They laughed, and then the conversation drifted into more intimate territory. Childhood dreams, the weight of past heartbreaks, and the longing for a true partner. "I've been searching for something real," Mel admitted, "and I think I might have found it with you." Cindy's heart skipped. Could reality really be this magical? Just as Cindy began to feel secure in their growing romance, news broke that a special episode of Bachelor Happy Hour would feature a reunion of sorts, bringing past contestants into the mix for a surprise twist. Cindy worried, would this change everything? Would the spotlight expose their private moments to the chaos of reality TV drama? But Mel's hand found hers during the pre-show briefing. "Whatever happens, Cindy, we handle it together," he said. When the cameras rolled, Cindy realized that the thrill of the show was nothing compared to the thrill of knowing someone truly cared about her. And as she sat beside Mel, sharing laughs and meaningful glances while surrounded by lights and cameras, she realized she had found something unexpected, a place that
The lights
felt
of the
like
studio
home.
dimmed as past contestants mingled, creating a whirl of laughter, playful banter, and subtle competition. Cindy felt a pang of unease as she watched Mel interact with other women from the show. While she trusted him, the subtle sparks of jealousy clawed at her heart. Mel noticed the shift instantly. "Hey, are you okay?" he asked, his voice low. Cindy forced a smile. "I'm fine, just absorbing everything." He gently took her hand. "I want you to know something. No one here matters more to me than you. Tonight is just part of the fun. You're my reality." His words melted her tension. Cindy realized that love wasn't just about butterflies and late-night walks. It was about trust, honesty, and choosing each other every single day. After the reunion, Cindy and Mel found themselves walking the quiet streets of the city. The chaos of lights and cameras faded into the soft hum of nighttime traffic. "You know," Mel started, glancing at her, "I wasn't sure what to expect from all this Bachelor, cameras, the drama, but meeting you, it changed everything." Cindy's heart thumped. "I feel the same. I never imagined I could feel so understood by someone I barely knew a month ago." They stopped under a street lamp, the glow illuminating their faces. Mel brushed a loose strand of hair from Cindy's eyes and said softly, "You make me want to be better, Cindy. And not just for me, but for us." In that quiet moment, they shared their first kiss, a gentle, lingering promise that whatever came next, they would face it together. As Cindy's confidence in their budding romance grew, she also discovered the importance of letting Mel into her past. Over warm cups of tea in her apartment, she shared stories of her childhood, her fears, and her dreams for the future. Mel listened, never interrupting, always offering gentle encouragement. "Cindy, you're incredible," he said one evening. "Every story, every challenge, it's part of why I'm drawn to you. You've got this strength and warmth that's rare." Then, with a mischievous grin, he pulled out a small envelope. "I might have a surprise for you," he said. Inside was a ticket for a weekend getaway to a charming lakeside town. "I wanted us to have a moment, just the two of us, away from cameras, away from everything." Cindy felt tears prick her eyes. It was thoughtful, spontaneous, and perfectly Mel, a gesture of love that spoke louder than words. The lake sparkled under the soft morning sun as Cindy and Mel arrived at a quaint cabin surrounded by golden autumn trees. The air was crisp, and the world felt like a private bubble just for them. They spent their days hiking along wooded trails, laughing over playful games of mini-golf, and sharing meals they cooked together in the cozy kitchen. At night they would sit on the porch, wrapped in blankets, talking about everything and nothing. "I feel at home here," Cindy whispered one evening, resting her head on Mel's shoulder. "And that's how I want you to feel, not just here, but with me, no matter where life takes us." For the first time in years, Cindy realized that love didn't have to be complicated or loud. It could be quiet, comforting, and deeply real. Returning to the city, Cindy wondered how their romance would survive the glare of cameras and public attention. But Mel had one more surprise. On the set of Bachelor Happy Hour, amidst the cheers of the live audience, he took the microphone. "Cindy," he began, his eyes scanning the crowd until they locked with hers. "These past weeks have been incredible, but I don't want this to be just a moment on a show. I want this to be real." Cindy felt her heart leap as he continued. "I want to build a life with you, Cindy. I want us to laugh, dream, and face everything together. Will you be my home?" Tears filled Cindy's eyes as the audience erupted in applause. Without hesitation, she ran into his arms, whispering, "Yes, I want that too." In that magical moment, cameras faded into insignificance. They weren't just a bachelor and a guest anymore. They were partners, adventurers, and lovers who had found home in each other. Months later, Cindy and Mel moved into a charming apartment together, filling it with laughter, memories, and the scent of fresh coffee each morning. They hosted friends, traveled to hidden corners of the world, and never forgot the serendipity that brought them together. Cindy often reflected on that first night at Bachelor Happy Hour, realizing that the most extraordinary journeys began with a single leap of courage. She had found not only romance, but a home, a place where she was seen, cherished, and loved unconditionally. And in Mel's arms, she knew that sometimes the greatest adventures didn't require exotic destinations or scripted drama. They required an open heart, a willingness to trust, and the courage to say yes to life's
Cindy and
unexpected
Mel's
surprises.
relationship blossomed. The world outside the studio began to buzz with speculation. Social media exploded with fan theories and gossip about their unexpected connection. Some questioned if Cindy was just a guest, while others celebrated the undeniable chemistry between her and Mel. Cindy tried to ignore the whispers, but when she saw a headline claiming Mel might be reconsidering his feelings, anxiety gripped her. Mel noticed immediately. "Cindy, don't let this nonsense get to you. People talk, they speculate, but that's all it is. Talk. You and I know the truth." His reassurance warmed her, but Cindy realized that love under the public eye wasn't just about romance. It was about strength, patience, and navigating the storm together. One evening, Cindy received a message from the producers. Mel was being invited back to a special live fan favorites episode, and she was invited too. The idea of returning to the chaos of cameras and fans both excited and terrified her. When they arrived, the studio was alive with energy. Old contestants reappeared, bringing laughter, tension, and unexpected surprises. Cindy clung to Mel's hand, grateful for his constant presence. During a live challenge, a contestant playfully tried to flirt with Mel. Cindy's heart skipped, but instead of reacting with jealousy, she smiled at Mel. His eyes found hers across the stage, silently promising that nothing could shake their bond. It was a turning point. Cindy realized that true love wasn't about shielding each other from the world. It was about standing together, confident in the strength of their connection. After the live taping, Cindy and Mel escaped to a quiet rooftop overlooking the city. The skyline shimmered in the night, a reminder of life moving fast outside their little bubble. "I know it's hard sometimes," Mel said, wrapping an arm around her. "Being us in front of everyone, it's not easy, but I'd rather face it with you than anyone else." Cindy leaned into him. "I know, and I want that too. I want us, real, messy, perfect us." They stayed there for hours talking about dreams, fears, and what home really meant. In the gentle quiet of the city lights, Cindy realized that her heart had found not just love, but a sanctuary. Mel, always one for surprises, had one more plan. On a crisp Sunday morning, he blindfolded Cindy and led her to a secluded garden decorated with twinkling lights and roses. "Close your eyes," he whispered. When she opened them, the entire garden glowed with a soft, magical light, and a small table held a handwritten letter. Reading it, Cindy's heart swelled. Mel wrote about every moment he cherished with her, the first laugh, the late-night talks, the quiet mornings, and at the end, in bold, heartfelt letters, "Cindy, will you move in with me and make this our forever?" Tears streamed down her cheeks as she threw herself into his arms. "Yes, yes, I'll move in with you." It was the perfect culmination of their journey, a promise of commitment, love, and shared life ahead. Months later, Cindy and Mel's life together flourished. They decorated their apartment with mementos from their adventures, hosted friends, and celebrated even the smallest victories with laughter. Cindy often reflected on her journey, from a hesitant audience member to a woman who dared to leap into love. The experience had taught her courage, trust, and the joy of finding a partner who truly understood her. On cozy evenings, wrapped in blankets with the city lights outside, Cindy would look at Mal and smile. He was her home, her surprise, her unexpected adventure. And she knew that some journeys weren't just about the destination, they were about finding someone to share it with. As they laughed, dreamed, and loved together, Cindy realized one truth above all. Sometimes the best love stories aren't written in script, they're discovered in moments of courage, connection,
Outside the studio
and heart.
was far from easy. Work deadlines, family obligations, and the constant scrutiny of social media created small but persistent cracks in Cindy and Mel's bubble. One evening, after a particularly long day, Cindy felt frustrated. Sometimes it feels like everyone's watching us, judging us. I just want normal, she admitted. Mel held her close. I get it, but normal doesn't mean dull, and we define our life, not them. Every challenge we face together only makes us stronger. That night, as they watched the city lights flicker, Cindy realized love wasn't just the perfect moments, it was standing together through the imperfect ones. Just when things seemed smooth, a figure from Mel's past resurfaced, a former contestant who still harbored feelings for him. Cindy's heart sank when she saw her at a public event. Cindy, look at me, Mel said firmly, sensing her unease. The past is the past. You're my present and my future. It wasn't easy, but Cindy decided to trust him. She confronted her insecurities, understanding that true love required faith in each other, not fear of the unknown. By facing the past together, their bond deepened, rooted in trust, honesty, and unshakable commitment. Mel had been planning something extraordinary. On a crisp autumn evening, he led Cindy to the rooftop where they first shared their heart-to-heart. Candles lined the edges, and the skyline shimmered like 1,000 tiny stars. Cindy, he kneeled, these past months have been the most incredible of my life. You are my home, my joy, and my heart. Will you marry me? Cindy gasped, tears welling in her eyes. Yes, yes, of course. The city seemed to celebrate with them, the skyline glowing brighter as Mel slipped the ring onto her finger. It wasn't just a proposal, it was the culmination of courage, trust, and the magic of unexpected love. Wedding planning became a new adventure, filled with laughter, decisions, and intimate moments. Cindy realized that love wasn't just about grand gestures. It was in the tiny details. Picking flowers together, choosing music that spoke to their souls, and sharing quiet mornings with coffee and whispered dreams. They also decided to use their story to inspire others, sharing how love could be found in the most unexpected places, even a reality TV set, if one dared to trust, be vulnerable, and follow their heart. The wedding day arrived, a perfect mix of laughter, tears, and celebration. Friends, family, and even fans from the show gathered to witness Cindy and Mel promise forever. As Cindy walked down the aisle, she felt a rush of emotions, grateful for every twist, every surprise, and every moment that had led her here. Mel's eyes met hers, and in that gaze, she saw home, love, and a lifetime of shared adventures. I now pronounce you partners in life and love, the officiant said. As they kissed, the crowd erupted in joy. Cindy knew that their journey wasn't about fame or cameras. It was about finding someone who made life extraordinary, simply by being themselves. Together, Cindy and Mel stepped into a new chapter, a life filled with laughter, shared dreams, and the unwavering knowledge that home wasn't a place, but a person. And in each other's arms, they finally found everything they had been searching for: love, trust, adventure, and a heart that knew it had come home.